Hello people, the Huangster here. Now this video is just about addressing the gaming industry and how it's going to be affected in the near future, but that's how I think it is. Now I don't expect you to believe what I say, but this is my opinion, so you can take it with a grain of salt. But I feel like this opinion in my eyes is quite valid. Now the future of games may be at a risk, and why is that? It's because of the reason why people can't recognize good games and the ones that are bad. Now, I mean, I don't blame them. They're naive children with apparent gambling addictions and fear of missing out. Mainly this stems from identifying games as a whole. I've played a lot of games and I know exactly what's good, what's mediocre, and trash. But before I differentiate these games on Roblox and the similar counterparts, let me explain why people play video games in the first place. To put it simply, it's to escape reality and embrace engaging experiences. This can span from Black Myth Wukong, Elden Ring, Dark Souls, Minecraft, Terraria, CSGO, Overwatch, and older Roblox, not modern Roblox. Now the point of a video game is simple. There is probably a goal that you have to reach, or some kind of thing you have to work to get. And these goals teach you qualities like, for example, Minecraft, you can be creative. Or like in CSGO, you have to use teamwork. You know what I mean? And games are just tests of one's skills, logic, and reflexes, and problem solving. Now the reason why the gaming industry is at a problem in the future for us people who want good games is because of, well, Roblox, of course. Now I'm sure you've heard of Grow a Garden and Still a Brainrot, possibly Blox or Dig. Now, to begin with, the first two games have absolutely no goals. It is flawed in of itself. And it's this kind of a pseudo goal where the goal is actually technically, in quotation marks, determined by the people that play it, or players that play it. And the goal is to get as much money as possible, or get the most rarest thing ever. And the goal is number go up. Kid happy, kid play more. Rinse, repeat. Now, understand that kids are kids and they don't really have much problem-solving capabilities. Wait, hold on a minute. They're in primary school, or at least in like high school. How's that even possible? Let me check the date. 2025. Yeah, technology is quite apparent in our daily lives, correct? And if children are glued to the screens with no sort of communication, they won't have the chance to use their brains to the fullest. I mean, Gen Alpha is the generation that is 3 years behind their age level, so I can't really say much. But all I can say is not all iPad kids play Grow a Garden or Still a Brainrot, but the people who play Still a Brainrot or Grow a Garden are indeed iPad kids. Now the reason why these games are so bad, it doesn't train you in anything. You just plant the seed, you wait. In fact, you don't have to wait. You can plant the seed, leave, come back, and it's done. It doesn't teach you anything. Let's say, for example, like, Mad City or Jailbreak. At least you have to think about, if I go in here, how many police or heroes are gonna invade me when I'm trying to rob the store. Stuff like that. But nowadays, you just turn your brain off and you just bash your head into a brick wall. And then that's exactly what it does. If you do that in real life, it's not gonna work. But if you do it in Grow a Garden, yeah, it's gonna work because that's all there is to do. Now, I know, I shouldn't be talking about Blox, but Blox, I mean, Blox is dying, and that's good, because Blox is just terrible, and the goal of Blox is different. You grind for PvP, which sucks, you mash keys, and the effects look half as decent. I mean, sure, big AoEs, am I right? And it's technically a gacha game in of itself, because the only way to get fruits is to gamble. I mean, you can wait for stock to refresh. I wonder where Grow a Garden got that idea from. I mean, sure, it's popular in many other like experiences, but sure. Anyways, and recently I've played this gacha game, which in quotation marks gacha. It's called Uma Musume Pretty Derby, and then of course it's pretty famous. You should know about it. If not, it's about this anime with horse girls, and you have to race them. And yes, it is a gacha game. There is gacha gambling elements in it. However, upon entering, I had a notification where I can only spend X amount of money in 1 month, meaning that if you spend that much money, they will not accept it no matter what. And I find that very good. Genshin Impact? No. Honkai Star Rail? No. Zenless Zone Zero? No. Honkai Impact 3rd or even Wooden Waves don't even have that. So what I feel that Uma Musume doing is actually not that bad. And Uma Musume Pre-Derby, well, guess what? It's actually related to historical events. The characters like Daiwa Scarlet, Ogre Cap, Silent Suzuka are actually real horses. So you get kind of a pseudo-history lesson and some fun facts that you might help you in some trivia questions from Proxima Centauri. And what I like about the addition of not letting you spend X amount of money in 1 month is that they sort of implemented it in Roblox. I mean, from where I'm from, Australia, right? A lot of games like Rivals and like other stuff, they have loot boxes and they use Robux to gamble loot boxes, which I feel is just straight up gambling at this point. But of course, these kids don't know any better. And when we put the truth in front of their face, they like deny it and they, no, la 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 la, I can't hear you, la 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 la, there's no gambling here, there's no gambling here. But even though there is, and they just don't see it. And what Roblox has done for Australia is that they disable the loot boxes, meaning that if you are from Australia, you can't actually gamble, which I find that's actually really nice. Yeah, but why is the whole gaming industry in trouble? And why is good games going to slowly die out? Now think about this, our generation, well my generation is Gen Z, and I lived on games like Mad City, Minecraft, Terraria, and they're all pretty good, but the next generation, like Gen Alpha or like Gen Beta, what are they gonna do? Brain rot, steal a brain rot? Or grow a garden? Or what else is gonna be there? Make a candle? I don't know, it's like the most random things ever. And if you think about that, their generation is going to be growing up on that. Do you think that when they become adults, do you think that will have the best choices in their life if they gamble at such a young age? No, they're not going to have good choices. They're going to be like gambling every now and then. They already have gambling addictions. So what happens when there's a bunch of adults, like pseudo teenagers or young adults, waiting for a game that doesn't suit their needs? Like for us, we're waiting for like, I don't know, GTA 6 or maybe like something like maybe a new COD game, maybe Battlefield, you know. But their generation grew up on Grow a Garden and Steal Brain Rot, and they're gonna expect games like that. They won't really get used to games that require thinking and like logical events. So I wonder what's gonna happen with the game developers. Yeah, they're probably going to stop making those really actually good games and cater to the already hungry, already starving, and they're gonna be paying a lot for it. So if this keeps going on, not just the gaming industry is going to be impacted, but humanity itself. Now I know I sound dramatic, but it's the truth. If a whole generation is brought up on something that involves gambling at such a young age, now I'm not sure how like the majority of people play Grow a Garden. And yes, there are some people in my class, I'm almost 18, I'm 17, that still play Grow a Garden. This is very worrying. Now, sure, they play Grow a Garden maybe because like peer pressure, but the actually people that do, that are mostly kids, they're like in year 1 to year 6. They're like 7 years of age, 5 years old, 6 years old, I don't know, they're still kids, they're still growing. They need to develop. There's nothing you can do. That you just plant crops and still brain rot. You just number go up, and the only thing that's funny is that when the kids cry.
Some mean spider.
I'm trying to move, and this kid, he's just trying again.
If you get that emotionally attached to something, then I think it's time to hop off. Like seriously, it's just a pixel.
But the Wangster, there's so much you can do in Grow a Garden.
Oh, well then, Mr. Timmy, 546. You mean stuff like planting crops and selling them? Planting crops and selling them? Planting crops and selling. Fuck. The Grow a Garden, Steal a Brain Rot, and this new game Dig all suffer a problem, and that's comparison. And what will a child do with the rare / hard to get item? You flex them off to people. Oh, I'm so cool. I got a mutilated apple that gives 3/4 or vigintillion times the amount of money. Oh my god. Or a brainrot that gives 3 quadrillion a rainbow modifier. Or translucent hypnoplasma jade star-crossed mushroom man with a rarity of 1 on centillion. Oh my god, guys. I'm like the best. And like the irony of that is that people, those exact people, laugh and ridicule at those awful Rise of Kingdom ads where they flex off how much power they have in the mobile game. And those people who do ridicule the ads do the same thing, flexing off their pixels in in quotation marks game. Now, sure. I mean, well, okay, you flex them off. I don't think anyone cares, buddy. Look, you and me, we do not care. We definitely do not care. We couldn't care less. Alright? And from my generation, Gen Z, we've played something like Mad City and Jailbreak, and like some things that you can grind for. And Mad City and Jailbreak have a similar kind of approach. You work hard to get a strong vehicle, but unlike Royal Guard and the Silver Brainrot, these vehicles have use. You don't just show them off. What you do is you fight people with it. Whoa, riveting. Like the Hyperglider or the F-22 Raptor with the 3AM 200 and 120 missiles, stealth mode and nitro boost, or the A10 Warthog equipped with nitro and the GAU of 8 Adventure Cannon. Now the difference is that you don't flex these vehicles off, you use them to fight other people. In Mad City, dogfights actually exist, and yeah, if you haven't tried, go try out Mad City or Jailbreak, they're actually really good. And dogfights can consist of, okay, so let's say you are a criminal and the police has a raptor, you can bring out an incinerator to fight the raptor, and then what he could do is land, take the A10 Warthog, take damage, but mitigate that damage and deal damage to your incinerator, blowing it up so you can't use the incinerator. Sure, you can respawn it again, but you have other options like a tank, you have other stuff like a sea vehicle, you have other stuff like technical stuff, UFOs and stuff. Like, you can just do so much stuff in Man City. It's infinitely better than Royal Guard. Now, that's all I have to say. Take what you need from this and don't gamble. Cheers. The points are out.